Hey everybody, Melissa K. Range. How are you today? Today we're talking about this, the law of reflection. And the reason I want to talk about this is because I was listening to a video today because I'm constantly studying, researching, listening to new things, trying to discern what's going on with this place that we live in. And I was contemplating this idea that this man brought up in his videos. And I'm listening to this guy. This is the first time I've ever really listened to his videos because per somebody else, she thought maybe he has some good information, but maybe he's not really truly an authentic person who's really trying to help us to evolve, if you want to call it that, or to get to know who we really are from a place of authenticity or honesty and truth. And I think in today's day and age, you have to be really discerning. You have to be really maybe even skeptical of what's going on in the world because we're being constantly bombarded with stuff that is untrue, with information that we are not sure is really coming from a heartfelt, authentic place. And I definitely know that there's been a lot of that's been coming for the last several years. And last night I stayed up really late because I was looking into some information that I was reading about on YouTube, but also because I have seen now that some doctors I used to call on, they've recently passed away. I have had several family friends pass away. And so there's a lot of information out there, of course, coming in to also divide us. And so I don't want to be divisive. That's not where I want to go anymore. I don't want to be in this versus that, or, red versus blue, or whatever. I just don't want to be in that duality place where I'm constantly in competition or constantly in judgment of someone else's thoughts or beliefs. That's just not where I am anymore. I think years ago that whole competition piece was big within me, and it was in me for a very long time. But now it's just like, I want to know the truth, and I want humanity to stop suffering, and I want to know why I came here and what's the purpose of this place. Like, these are the things that I think about. And I was up last night thinking, why do so many of us not want to contemplate things that are going on in our world in a deep way, or how they affect us? And this is going to go into then, of course, the law of reflection, because what is the universe reflecting back to you when you are thinking about something? What is the universe reflecting back? And I would always tell my clients, or when I was doing an Akashic reading, I would say, I'm just really affirming what you're thinking, or I'm affirming what you already know. Or as a mentor, I am reflecting back to you what you're saying or how you're feeling, so that you can really anchor in what your intuition is telling you, or what your gut, or what your inner self is really wanting to express or to do or to pursue in life. And so I think there's a lot of reflecting being done with truth seekers to other truth seekers as well. And that's, again, this man that I was listening to, I'm just being really discerning, but he's causing my consciousness to expand, or to wonder, or to think. And so I'm listening to a lot of different things, as I've said, because I really want to know the truth of this place. And did we just happen to stop off for a jaunt here? Or did we get stuck here somehow? Or did we come because we knew this place was icky and yucky and full of suffering, and we wanted to help? I mean, I don't really know. I haven't figured that out yet, but I do know that I will come to a conclusion. And as we really traverse this place, and the fast, rapid changes that we're going through is mind-blowing for me. And just like me being just so voracious in trying to figure things out and wanting to know. And all the people that I'm reading the comments on YouTube are talking about how so much of life has changed, of course, in the past few years, but even over the past couple of decades. And there's so much fear constantly being thrown at us, constant fear of everything. I mean, anything you can think of. When it comes to your health, there's so much fear. When it comes to money, there's so much fear. When it comes to war, there's so much fear. When it comes to death, there's so much fear. People are so afraid to die. And I think what's interesting is I went through all of those things as well. I've been through all of those things. And I think it's a process of letting go of attachment and letting go of things that maybe have come in to teach us something. And then we say, I'm done with that. I need to move forward. And I've had communities that I've been a part of that I don't participate in anymore. I've had, of course, people come into my life and I don't have relationships with them anymore. And I've had things that were a part of my life that I don't want to utilize anymore or have taken to my body maybe anymore. And I think the deeper I study and the deeper, let's use this word, the deeper I reflect on who I am and why I'm here and what is this place showing me, and going within and understanding my power, the more answers and the more spiritual information I receive. And so the universe, I feel like, and this is so funny because yesterday I was writing in my journal about this exact specific thing, but I wasn't using the word reflect or reflection. I was just using, I want to know the answers. I want to understand. I want to realize, like, what is it with the synchronicities? Why do I feel like my life has had so many synchronistic, wonderful, amazing events? Why is it that when I need something, it comes to me? Why, and you could equivocate it. This guy was saying that the law of attraction is not the same as the law of reflection. And so I looked up the law of reflection, and it has to do with physics. And this man was talking about how this place is designed with math. And I don't know if that would go to the Fibonacci spiral or not, but it's just so amazing how so many people don't look into any of this stuff, right? We're so, again, like I said last week, we're so distracted. We have so little focus on our spiritual piece. And this is how we become part of a collective consciousness that isn't focused on spirituality and understanding who we are and why we're here and the power that we really have, and how, as this man said, a highly individualized personality, and we want to step into the uncomfortable. And I've talked about this so much over the years, which really, is what's fun for me, is that it feels very validating. It feels like, and I'm reading all these people's comments on all these videos I watch, and it's like, wow, these people are really in alignment with what I think and how I pursue life, and why I decided to start going out of the regular, everyday, 3D sort of materialistic realm that so many of us seem to participate in. And I did too. And I think we have to experience that, because otherwise we wouldn't understand maybe the pain and suffering that comes with living in that 3D sort of materialistic place. And that doesn't mean that we totally abandon it, because we all have things in our lives that we maybe desire. I still have desires, but we also learn maybe to create a way of life that's a little bit more, maybe more simple, or maybe we become servants in a way that brings us fulfillment outside of the work we do, because maybe our work isn't as fulfilling. But this man talked about the law of reflection, and he talked about breaking out of the programming. And so I wanted to bring up a little bit about the programming. And in the past week, I have watched these 4 movies. I got them at the library. And this one is very interesting. I watched this one last night. But there is so much symbolism. There is so much programming. There is so much, oh my gosh, like I was sitting here thinking I need to like have a movie review and break down all the movies that I'm now watching to really look at the programming. And it's everywhere. And it's all on the regular television every single day, because I will turn on the TV for some reason and just watch, like I said, all the commercials that make you think you're unwell. How many of those do you probably ingest every single time you turn on the TV? And then there's also the ones that you don't really notice, that they're also giving you truths. Okay, so in this one that I watched last night, because I picked it on purpose, because I was at the library looking, and I picked all these movies on purpose because I wanted to see what these Hollywood people are part of, that they're trying to program us with. And so I went into each movie knowing that there was going to be programming going on. And so I had my eyes wide open, and I was very aware that this is what was going to transpire in these movies. And this one of the key things that he talked about, of course, was exactly what I talked about last week. If you focus, you become the conductor of your life. And what he was doing was trying to teach this little boy. And actually, I just reserved the book at the library because I wanted to see if the book maybe went into things a little bit deeper. But he was trying to teach this boy how to take a ball of energy, throw it into a light, and turn on the light. Well, the little boy made a ball of energy, and he threw it, and it didn't go into the lamp. It actually went into a chair, which then scurried away. What I found fascinating about it, of course, was that I heard the word again, focus. And that's been my word of the year. So what's going on? I feel like this is a reflection back to me to remind me, oh, Melissa, I put that in my mind at the beginning of the year. I need to focus. And I really haven't been super great at focusing on one thing, because I am just fascinated with all of these books and all of these videos and all of this stuff that's going on. And really, I don't even think it's fair to say that people are waking up. I think people are waking up to the corruption and to the deception and to the lies. But are you really waking up to what's really being reflected back to you on a daily basis? Because people just don't take the time. They don't take the time to study, to learn, or remember, if you want to call it that, all of the things going on in the world for you on purpose, so that you can get out of this place. And I know there's also this word that keeps coming up, these NPCs. And so I looked that up today, because I was like, what does that really mean? So I looked that word up, and these are the non-participating, non-fictional people or players of this game that we're in. And so there's a lot of, I guess, beings out there, whatever they are, that are not really maybe human, and they're part of the simulation or the game that we are in. And so then there's some of us like me who really have a soul and who are a human being. And like I said, we either got trapped here, or we came and had a jaunt or a stop off. We wanted to see what this place was like, or we made an active, conscious decision to come here so that we could help people get out. And I feel like, I know that there's so many wonderful teachers that have gone before me to teach me the ways, the tools, the methods to exit this place, leave this place. As one of the men I've been listening to says, exit the cave. And I also think that there's some beings, or some, whatever they are, I don't know, that they can't get out. Like they're here forever in this maybe holographic sort of existence, and that's sad for them, and they can't get out of here. But I also know that we have tools and we have methods, and there's lots of places that you can begin to go or going within to really help you see that you are not really this physical flesh and being. I mean, to me, it feels like in this moment, of course, that I am, but that's not really what we are, that we are more than that, that we are these powerful creators. And actually, it's so funny because in these movies, there's so much power to the characters in some instances about what they know is true about this place. And that we all in a way are magicians, or we all in a way had the ability to create sort of what appears to be magical existences. And I do think that is true, but it's been hidden from us and it's been stripped away from us for so long that we've gotten away from taking on or taking back our own authority or utilizing our own authority, as this man said today, highly individualized personality. And we become anomalies when we start talking about this stuff, because so many people are just following the herd, or they are not willing to step into the uncomfortable and actually do some digging or some research or some contemplating or some questioning. And I think that those are pieces that are definitely necessary if you want to get out of your suffering, if you want to make changes in your life to where you really feel like you are a powerhouse, or maybe you're in control of your destiny, so to speak, because so many of us are going to return here if we don't get like our big girl pants on and start really doing the work. And we can't start doing it on, the days that we're like on our deathbed, unless we really have conviction and know that we're not going to come back here, because it appears as though many of us are extremely easily coerced into doing what authoritative or hierarchical beings seem to tell us. And I notice that, and I witness it all over the place, and I'm still seeing it constantly. And it's hard sometimes to not follow the crowd. And I've been one of those people. I really have not followed the crowd too many times in my life. Sometimes, of course, I have, but there's been many times where I refuse to follow the crowd. And that is hard for a lot of people. And I believe that's really what I have tried to help the people that I've mentored or coached to do, is to step into those uncomfortable places and start doing the work, doing the hard work. And I'm not going to say it's easy, but there are tools and there are ways and there are methods and there are people out there to support you. And I have always been searching for that. And it's almost like finally everything that I have been journaling about and reading and hoping for and wishing for and desiring regarding my spirituality has come to fruition. And now it's like I'm here to help others to really understand who they are, because it's not easy for me, like I said last week, to watch all these suffering people and to watch how we are coerced and how we are so easily, I guess you could call it, manipulated into believing things that are not true, and they are lies. And, even last night I was reading something and they said belief has the word lie in it. And I thought, wow, that is really amazing. And I've been studying words and logos and things like that. And this is what I do a lot of the time. This is what I want to know. And so maybe you want to know this kind of stuff, or maybe you don't, or maybe it feels very daunting and scary. And you can feel very overwhelmed. But back to this, the law of reflection, I'm going to be looking into a little bit deeper. And for a long time, I followed the law of attraction, and I really wanted that. And what's so funny? And I've been watching this guy on YouTube now for a couple of months, and I'm just fascinated because I found him and I was like, wow, this is amazing, is that the New Age beliefs. I was really into the New Age, and that was something that replaced for me religion. And now I see how I got sucked in to the New Age, just like I got sucked into religion. And just like I was this devout religious person and believing everything I heard, and now I know that I have been, in a way, sort of like duped twice. And so that's why my discernment is really high, and I'm just really watching. And that's not to say that sometimes, gosh, I listen to things over and over at times because I just feel like I don't get it. And I want to know exactly what it's saying and what I'm picking up on, my perception. But I do know that I went through two big phases that really had to open my eyes to what I believe. And believe, again, there's that word, belief. But the New Age really took me in, and I really was a voracious participant in the New Age. And now I'm just starting to really step away from a lot of things that I did in the New Age that I know in this law of attraction didn't work for me, but all for a learning experience, right? There's no regrets. I'm still a young person, and I have a lot of time to live and a lot of time to undo maybe, or just figure out like why I chose that. And maybe I don't even need to figure it out. Maybe I just keep on moving forward. But with these two things, there was a lot of shame and guilt, and that came up in me, and I needed that to surface because, as I said before, you've got to heal what is unhealed within you. You've got to do it, and everything that I'm reading and studying, it's going to be sort of presented to you in a loving way, and then you're going to have to say, nope, I'm not buying that anymore. I did the work, and I'm not going to go back to this place because I don't regret anything, and I have no resentments, and I've forgiven people. But just my feedback or my encouragement for you would be to really start delving in, even if it's just something like watching some YouTube videos. And if you want to know what those are, like, send me a message at Melissa K. Range. Or maybe you want to get some coaching with me, and you want to do some coaching work with me because you want to expand your consciousness around your spirituality. I mean, it's just amazing when you have other people that are like, think like you, or you want to begin sort of thinking like, or just following their lead maybe. And it's not doing following a guru, and that's a whole nother topic. But the guru stuff is just, for me, that's part of the New Age, and I just don't believe in any of that guru. Like, everybody's their own guru. And if you follow this law of reflection and you start paying attention to it, oh boy, how the answers, the solutions, and, well, for lack of a better word, maybe the magic that can come in around it will be tremendous. And you will start seeing wonderful things, and some things from the New Age I have kept, and I have said, okay, I like that saying or that mantra or that affirmation. And I don't think any of those things are bad per se, but I don't think that they're going to get you maybe exactly what you want when you are in a state of lack or limitation within yourself. And I had to learn all that. And again, that's probably another video, and I've been speaking for a while. So please send me an email at melissa@melissakrange.com if you want to share something, or just make a comment under this video. I loved how some of my friends from grade school actually posted some stuff about reincarnation. And I will put these video names maybe on my in my comments under my video, because I don't, with the way things are right now and the way that there's so much censorship, I don't want to be, red flagged or whatever. So I'm just watching other people. I'm watching what they're doing. But you know what, people? We don't have possibly a lot of time to get our act together to really know who we are. And this is stuff that's been being taught to us or has been taught to us for thousands of years. There are teachers that have said this stuff, and what happens to them? Well, either they're dead, they're killed. So we've got to do the work, and we can't just be like those horses on the trail, nose to butt, nose to butt. We just can't be those people. We have to take initiative. We have to take responsibility. We have to put our big boy and big girl pants on and be adults and start actually doing some stuff to get us into our inner selves and start listening and start really craving and desiring that spiritual piece of us to be elevated, to be emanated, to be radiated, to be understood. So I hope you all have a fabulous day, and I will look forward to connecting with you again soon. See you soon.